You train like you fight. As you know, when you don't have to think about it, you have time to think about the other things, like the bad weather, the people shooting at you. Where are you going? Downtown Baghdad. Okay, I didn't think we owned that yet. So, yeah, the training is paramount. Train like you fight, and you will win, and you will see it every time.
The most incredible feeling, if you can save somebody's life, ensure that they get home, the mom, dad, you know, the sons or daughters, it was all well worth it.
The beaches and the roads leading to the beaches are jammed in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. For the McDonald's Air and Sea Show, a national salute to the U.S. military. Now, along with the show that we've been talking about, there are a lot of corporate displays and there are a lot of recruiting displays. It's a great opportunity to show young people of America what opportunities await them in the military service. And you know what? It was also a good opportunity for corporate America to be thankful for the United States military. And they were. The crowds enjoyed some great food and some great activities. And they also enjoyed the General of the Conch Republic, Key West. His name is Freddie Cabanas, and he flies a Pitts. And boy, there's a plane that's been known in the stunt world for a long time, Gibby.
Yes, and his is a classic, and of course Freddie himself is a classic. He's a member of the Screen Actors Guild. He's got 20,000 hours of flying time. He runs a tourist air service down there in Key West. I guess you'd have to call him a pretty high-profile guy. And a pretty good pilot. Here he is inverted in an inverted spin. That'll give you a headache.
It's amazing. As many times as I watch these aerobatic pilots, I just am amazed that they don't get sick flying those aircrafts. But they're so focused and so concentrated, they're watching the controls and the horizon around them.
Well, I agree with you. It's amazing they don't get sick. But if you ever have the good fortune to ride in the back seat of one of them, you might not be so fortunate.
This is true. As a matter of fact, I've heard a story about a couple of people who are considered the best pilots in the world. When they don't have control of the aircraft and they're not thinking about the control of the aircraft, it plays on them like it does the average person.
Well, I can agree with that 100% on my own case.
Freddie Cabanas, known as the General of the Conch Republic. Several great moments occurred during Fleet Week USA when some sailors visited Horizon Elementary School in Fort Lauderdale.
It's really nice to be able to come down here and take a little break and take a load off because the hours that we've been working lately have been unbelievable.
I feel very honored that they pick our school to come back to. It is a very proud feeling, especially during these times. We just got finished with the war in Iraq, and there's a lot of American pride. And it, personally, as a principal, it makes me feel very, very special that the eyes of the world are looking at my little school here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
No,
I think they get an appreciation of the military, but the military becomes real to them in that they see active people. For a lot of our students, their fathers have completed their military career before they were born. So it gives them a chance to see the young sailors and see that that's a potential for them.
I think it's very brave what they're doing because they're putting their lives out on the line for millions of other people.
It really makes us feel like celebrities. These kids are they've been absolutely fabulous, and you know, it really shows how much what we do means to them. And before, you know, I didn't realize so many of the younger people knew what was going on out in the world, but they really do, and they're proud of us. It makes us feel good.
Back on the water, we have a rescue demonstration about to take place with Group Miami from the United States Coast Guard. And Gibby, I want to point out how important and vital a role the Coast Guard played in the war in Iraq. We heard about all the other services, and a lot of people didn't realize that the United States Coast Guard was over there.
Yes, they were there to provide some inshore security, and of course the group here in Miami is the busiest in the world, and I think the largest group in the U.S. Coast Guard.
There you can see a great rescue at sea, and that's how they do it. And they don't only do it for military, they do it for civilians day in and day out. What a great thing to have the United States Coast Guard on duty, and these people appreciate them. Now we have a very special tribute. This is the Heritage Flight. It's a Warthog, an F-15, and a P-51 flying in memory of those who were not only lost in the war, but all those who have served. And some of those came back injured. And I'm happy to say that some of those who were injured are guests right here today in Fort Lauderdale of the McDonald's Air and Sea Show, the Salute to the United States Military. And we salute them now with the Heritage Flight.
Abraham Lincoln and that air wing come home, and all the homecoming events that we saw on so many of the television channels. There are still a lot more folks in the Navy out there serving, but it was wonderful to have the first group come home.
It's actually a bittersweet homecoming. It's really nice to be back with family and friends, but to be honest with you, all of us Marines really want to be back there with our units. We'd actually like to have all come home at the same time.
We've seen the hardware, but the real people who make all that work and who are able to draw those kinds of assets together to form, in my opinion, the strongest and best military in the world.
Welcome back to this national salute to the U.S. military, and the salute comes from the millions assembled on the beach with American flags in hand. A salute to those who have served and those who are about to serve.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
This is the future. 150 recruits being sworn in. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you saw them earlier. This is another shot of the Golden Knights, and we'll travel down with them at over 100 miles per hour.
Now, this is the Army's premier demonstration team. 3 missions that they have. 1, to enhance recruiting. 2, to develop new techniques for jumping. And 3, to appear in international competitions.
And they've appeared all over the world, so this message goes out everywhere.
They've performed in all 50 states and 47 countries. They're truly the Army's ambassadors to the world.
And what about these chutes that they're using?
Well, they're steerable, they're used by special forces, and you can see it allows a precision landing.
The Golden Knights of the United States Army.